one that may develop into another severe weather maker, and it may actually, believe it or not, bring more snow into the forecast a little later in the period. Let's start off with highs this afternoon. The East Coast still looks pretty good. We have the south winds blowing. Most areas have cloud cover and actually a lot of rain through here, although you may see temperatures getting into the 70s, but then the 30s sweep in behind it, and it will set up for a fairly cool weekend in the east, with the exception of South Florida still hanging on to the 80s. Nice warm up in Texas as these storms move out. Yesterday in Louisiana, many locations held on in the 50s, so it looks pretty good here as we move into the weekend. Sunshine back in the 70s and the 80s building here. Southwest okay. And the northwest temperatures cool a little bit as our storm system comes in, 40s and 50s. Watch how temperatures are cut back by some 20 degrees on Monday as the storm system comes in, and the 30s in there. So as I mentioned, possibility of more snow in the forecast, about the same spots. Minnesota, maybe down into the plains. Michigan and Wisconsin may see a little bit of snow as the 30s come right back in on Wednesday. This one will not cool the southeast off quite as much as the Now tax day is behind us, Easter behind us. We should be thinking about springtime, but in some locations they're still talking about winter. As a matter of fact, look at this. Just in about the past 24 hours or so, Sawyer Air Force Base in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan has gotten 23 inches of snow. Marquette, Michigan, a nice stiff north wind helping them out as the winds come over the water, and they're they've picked up 13 inches. Still snowing pretty heavily there. You go down to Sault Ste. Marie, 4 inches. Rochester, Minnesota, not as bad, but probably not exactly what you'd pick at this time of year weather-wise. 3 inches of snow. Take a look at our current map, or actually satellite picture in motion, and we'll show you the storm system that's bringing the snow. On the backside of it, cold air rushing down out of Canada. It's not only cold and snowy, but it's windy out there, so that's giving us wind chills in the teens and 20s in some locations, even single digits yesterday afternoon. So very cold through here. Chicago, no snow as of yet, but you're likely to see some, and they may get some snow in Indianapolis and Cleveland and Detroit as well over the weekend, but no big accumulations through there. It's actually cool all the way down to the south, but they do have sunshine, and temperatures should be warming into the 70s in Louisiana, getting a little better across the southeast. Looks like a pretty nice weekend shaping up. Meanwhile, on the front side of the storm system, right along the cold front, you can see the puffy clouds here indicating where the thunderstorms are, and they're still fairly potent, very heavy rain. We've had some reports of flooding, and there's likely to be a little bit more here with all of this heavy rain coming in, and it may last through much of the afternoon. Temperatures in the 60s here, 71 in Charleston, not bad, only 52 in Atlanta, a little cool, should gradually warm up through the weekend, but nothing compared to what they have up. We're in the snow zone. 33 in Green Bay, 38 in Chicago, with a wind chill. It feels, I believe, like 21 is the wind chill. Not too nice. Southwest in full sunshine, no big changes over the weekend, while in the northwest they do have a few clouds coming in. The rain is not here as of yet, but they are expecting, and it may come as far south as San Francisco. Right now just overcast and 58. Zoom in on the east, shows you exactly where our cold front sits here. Strong south winds, and the rain and thunderstorms have been traveling almost directly northward, a little bit east of north. And then here's your snow from around Green Bay, just west of Chicago, down to St. Louis, where they have a rain and snow mix. There's also, of course, the possibility of severe weather. Now here's the area outlined today with a darker shading of red. We've had severe weather for the past several days, and already this morning in western Pennsylvania they've had a lot of wind and hail damage. Severe storms have worked a little bit further to the east, and there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 2 o'clock this afternoon, so for another half hour. A little bit further to the south, tornado watch in effect until 7 o'clock this evening. As the front pulls very slowly out, we're likely to see several more hours of stormy weather. Take a look at it right now. You can see the rain in central, well, I make that eastern North Carolina, not quite to Elizabeth City as of yet, and Norfolk as well as Virginia Beach expecting some rain and thunderstorms. Up around Charlottesville, you're on the western extent of the rain, so maybe a little better by later this afternoon. Storms in D.C. and Baltimore, up towards Hagerstown reporting thunderstorms, big clusters of storms right through here. It becomes lighter rain, but still enough rain to cause some flooding problems in this area. And up to Syracuse, it is warm enough, so it is all rain this go around, but a pretty stormy and a wet day ahead. And on the backside, we still have a lot of low clouds and some lighter rain in Ohio and Indiana down to Tennessee, with a small area of snow. It's pretty persistent. We also have a little bit of snow showing up in Colorado, not much showing up on radar, but it's out there. Aspen getting a little snow as this weak system pulls across, bringing mainly clouds with it, but some light precipitation. And one more storm storm system on the west coast waiting to come in. You can see it's really wound up here in the Gulf of Alaska, pulling up into Canada. The clouds are already on shore, and they'll be expecting the rain, and some of it could be fairly heavy in the next 24 hours. So this is what we'll see. Our main storm system here pulling out. So today, the last real stormy day, should be actually fairly quiet through the weekend with basically a zonal flow on the jet stream. But the jet stream buckles on Monday as that next storm really starts the developing stages out here in the plains, and we're likely to see once again severe weather and, believe it or not, probably more snow in the forecast. A little late in the season for that, but we're still out there. All righty, let's go ahead and take a look at our forecast by Friday afternoon. Here it is, our storm system. Quickly moving on out, however, for Saturday. A little blustery and cool here, but Sunday should be better. Southeast in the sunshine. This trough still working eastward, maybe a few sprinkles with it, but not really a big deal. And our storm system in the northwest now ashore with the rain. Again, some of it could be fairly heavy, and we may find flooding problems here as well. And the rain may get down to about San Francisco by Saturday afternoon. Rain amounting to perhaps a ½ inch northwest. Certainly the heaviest rain here in the northeast with those downpours. Many locations could see an inch, if not more. And while they've already got 1 to 2 feet of snow in some locations, we could see another 6 to 12 inches in the Great Lakes states with temperatures this afternoon only in the 30s. Doesn't look so great here. As a matter of fact, it will be a relatively cool weekend. Only in the 20s for Wisconsin and Minneapolis, probably in the 20s. Warming up pretty nicely on Sunday, but the temperatures dropping right back on Monday as that next storm starts to pull out into the plains, carrying with it enough cold air for a little bit of snow. Here's the starting stages on Sunday. Looks like rain, snow for the higher elevations, just windy in the southwest. Not really a big deal here. It quickly digs out into the plains, picking up more moisture, starting with some strong thunderstorms on Monday and a little bit of snow. And it looks like this one once again will be traveling east along the Gulf Coast.
It's water.
The Weather Channel forecast is also available from the following.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Watch the Climate Puzzle, Sunday, April 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, here on the Weather Channel.
If you're traveling through the northeast today, you will find not only the heavy rain, but possibly some flooding. We've already had numerous reports of flash flooding anywhere from New York and on down into Virginia. And flash flood watches are out for all of these areas shaded in the darker green. So some pretty heavy thunderstorms through here. Lighter rain extending